I don't know what it is. maybe my computer is haunted. I don't know. But good morning. Once again, welcome. And thanks for joining again on this great Saturday morning. Happy to have you. Happy to be here. Hope all is well with everyone out there. And what was I saying before? I was saying I was talking about our IP, right? Super Galactic Fantastic Dimension, and how you know we're purposely creating something that has a more animated TV show look and feel because the ultimate goal is to create an animated series. Um, and when I initially started this project, the goal was to create an animated series, and it
Right.
was recommended to produce some comics based off of it first to help build our audience and everything. So that's what I did. Um, you can get that first book on our website, and if you go to the page supergalacticfantasticdimension.com and scroll all the way down, you'll see the first book there. You can buy it still. It's on Amazon. You can also read the first 10 pages free on the website. So you can check it out first before you buy. Try before you buy, right? And yeah, so and while you're there, check out the rest of our characters and get a sense of the story and the world, and sign up to get notified. We plan to
Hmm.
launch our campaign later this year, so stay connected with us and stay up to date. So once again, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're having a great morning on this Saturday morning. It's a little gloomy here. We're in Los Angeles, California, so it's a little overcast and gloom, and I think it may have rained a little bit too. So you know,
Yeah, that's the worst of our problems here in
so well,
California.
it's not the worst, but I'm not complaining. I appreciate any
No,
any kind of weather.
I'm
So
kidding.
yeah,
I'm kidding.
I wish that was the worst.
No, no.
So I'm sure many folks are aware of how bad it's gotten here in LA. So that's a whole other live stream, right?
Did
Talk
you,
about that all
did
day.
you hear they're trying to put a toll bridge on the was it the 101?
Yeah, I did hear it. I think they're working on it, right? Like they closed it down not long
That's
ago to do
hilarious.
some work on it. And yeah, I mean, we already pay tolls on the freeways with the carpool lane, the fast
Right.
pass and all that stuff. So it's not that unusual, But that's what they do here in LA. They nickel and dime you for everything. Like, it's a tax on almost anything you can think of. there's a tax on it. So it is cost of living here, I suppose. But yeah, so yeah, check out our stuff. And today, we got a few topics. I know one thing I wanted to kind of address. Actually,
How about that local sports team?
that local, I don't know what local sports team,
I was
the sports ball
no, I was
team,
talking about the
the local
no, I was
sports
talking
ball
about the
team.
Super Bowl.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Super
local
Bowl.
sports ball team. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs
How
won.
happy were you? Okay.
Oh, I was happy. I rooted for the Chiefs just because I like Mahomes. I think he's a great quarterback, and he seems like he has a good attitude. So you know. But
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, he won because Taylor Swift, and it was a psyop." That's been floating around the internet, right? It was a psyop,
Mm,
And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know, I mean, it's all entertainment, right? Like, yes, there are men out there who are out there pounding each other in the head and over this little ball and running and getting injured. But at the end of the day, they're doing it for entertainment, And so at some point, yeah, it's kind of like wrestling. Maybe not as bad as wrestling, obviously, right? But sometimes maybe it is a little rigged and fixed. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like
Uh,
it's not beyond the pale, So
yeah. I used to
considering
live in
recent years, so yeah.
yeah.
Good. I'm
So for
sorry.
context, I used to live in Texas. You're good. I used to live in Texas,
Yeah.
and I'm a little footballed out from
Oh yeah,
living
I
in
know.
Texas
And we're not even talking about
because
NFL. Like you're talking high school, college, right? I mean,
oh yeah, just football in general.
yeah. I
And
mean, yeah, it's a
I
big deal.
enjoy college football more than I enjoy NFL football. But
Yeah,
uh, yeah, it was just one night. It was 2015, so it was the Patriots and the versus the Seahawks, was it?
yeah.
And I almost I feel like I nearly escaped a bar fight there. So I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't. These people are nuts. So
Yeah, some people take it too far, right? And
yeah,
that's obviously problematic. I don't. I stopped that years ago. I'm an old guy, so
I had somebody catch me on the way out of the door, and they were like, "Where do you think you're going?" I was like, "Oh no,
really,
I'm going back to."
wow. Like, I'm not done
Yeah,
yelling
man.
at you over my sports ball team.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's yeah.
And you had
It
to.
gets
I
pretty
had. I had
intense.
the. I had the pleasure of drinking with a was it a Tom Brady fan?
Oh really?
Uh, yeah, he was. Oh, don't get me wrong. He's got was it 5, 6 rings? 10? I don't know. But he
Yeah,
just kept
I
talking
think he got
about him,
five,
bragging about him while he was sitting on the bench, mind you. But I had to give him a couple of napkins for his nose.
right? Wow.
But
Okay.
but yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I get it. You like Tom Brady. No, I was a kid though. I gave him a napkin. And he's like, "Oh, thanks." I was like, "Yeah, you had some brown stuff on your nose."
It was just pudding. That's
Yeah,
all.
he didn't like that.
It was it was
He
uh,
didn't.
it was chocolate pudding or something. So,
I'm sure it was. But
yeah.
I'm a little jealous this year for never thought I'd say that, but that I didn't miss the game, but but I was but the anybody who watched the NFL on Nickelodeon, because yes, Nickelodeon was broadcasting
Mm.
the football game, got a much better
Yeah, that's right.
halftime show
I forgot about that. Yeah, they
than
had
the adult did.
SpongeBob and Sandy and all that.
What's
Yeah.
nuts is that if anybody who's seen uh, the episode Band Geeks, often regarded as the best SpongeBob episode, although personally I think that's
Definitely
pizza delivery.
top five.
Definitely top five.
Yeah, I agree.
They reanimated the Sweet Victory scene. Like they didn't just play it at the school. They
They
reanimated
redid it. Yeah.
everything
That's impressive.
and like the full song, not just the TV version. So I'm a little upset that I missed that line.
I gotta admit, I'm a fan too of SpongeBob, so I was a little disappointed as well. I didn't know they were doing that. So that's like,
No.
man, I missed, just to see, how fun it was, how much fun it probably was. So I'll try to catch it on YouTube, I guess, see
Yeah,
what
it's
it
it's
looked
on
like.
YouTube.
But yeah, it's
It looks pretty
unfortunate.
good. It's using like the new animation that you see in like the movies.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm sure it probably looked beautiful, right? So that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, Chiefs won. I'm fine with that. Don't have a problem. I rooted for them. So, um, but yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Super Bowl, go team, right? Go sport team.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I wanted to also bring up this tweet I saw. I didn't take a screenshot of it, although I did post about it. And it's regarding white privilege, which is kind of the hot topic, I guess, right? It's a meme of a panel from a comic. I'm not sure which comic, but it's a comic that features the Incredible Hulk, or at least the Gray Hulk, I think it was, right? And there's a young lady talking to him, telling him how privileged Bruce Banner is because insinuating because he's a white male, right? Um, that people,
Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
yeah,
What?
the world bends over backwards to understand him and reward him for
That's,
his rage, I guess, and him being the Hulk. And I'm like, no, they don't. They try to kill him, right? The
I was gonna
military
say,
literally
isn't he
pursues him
on the
on a regular
run from the
basis.
government?
Yeah, it's kind
And it's
of,
not like it's not
I don't
just
know.
the government. The Avengers sent him to
Yeah, right,
space at
exactly.
one
Like
point.
it's there's the Hulk has
Nobody
had
wants.
probably one of the most tragic
Oh
stories in
my
comic book
god!
lore, right? Like it's yeah,
This this is this is
it's
a this is a
strange.
much bigger problem of uh the people writing comic books don't actually like or appreciate comic book superheroes. I mean, and this isn't
Yeah,
a new issue. I would argue that it began with what's Frank Miller
you think so? Well,
in the '90s.
probably. Yeah, I mean that's a good
Or
point.
and just that
Yeah,
whole '90s anti-hero movement in general,
right.
right? You
Like
had
we saw it one way as consumers, but the he saw it a whole different right. It wasn't about hey, wouldn't it be cool if these heroes were darker, more gritty, and realistic. It's more like
Yeah.
let's deconstruct these heroes and make them
Mm.
realistic and flawed because they should be because I'm nihilistic and pessimistic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
Like
would say that began in the
it's
night.
poking
And
fun
here's
at
the
it
thing: is
versus just making a telling a story, right? And yeah, yeah,
yeah,
I think you're right. It goes a lot further back. It's just it's been ramped up, I guess, maybe in the last 20 years, especially the last 10,
right.
right? And not just in comics, but overall in entertainment. Where it's like, sure, there's always been progressivism, to put it nicely, in entertainment, right? That's been kind of generally accepted because it's a medium that allows you to explore those ideas, right? Whatever it may be. But in the last decade, especially, but I would say a couple of decades, it's just been a gradual increase, and the subtlety has been kind of whittled away, right? And less subtle and more kind of like pow, in your face. Like this panel, right? You're just privileged, and because you're white and you're male, and the
Actually, he's
world
green.
caters to
We
you,
want to get technical.
you know. Yeah, right. He's for greenish gray, right? Yeah,
when
it's
he,
so absurd, right? Like it's like, hey, why is this statement even in a comic book, right? Like, why is
Yeah,
it even
and
there?
also I'm
As
always
especially that blatant, right? Like, it violates the basic premise of storytelling, like show, don't tell.
right,
You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you really believe that, right? Well, give us scenarios, give us a story where you unpack that idea somehow, right? Where
right,
you have this character who's a white male going through life, dealing with whatever it is, as a hero or a civilian, whatever. But you flesh it out into a story where it shows versus you literally have
the
your
problem is they know they can't
characters
do that.
are just puppets and they're just speaking your words, right? That's
Right,
kind of what's
but
been going on. Like, here, say this, okay, say this, versus let me
yeah,
tell this complex story and kind of weave this tapestry of adventure. And in there are going to be these, sort of Easter egg type things that hint at what my worldview is or what the message I'm trying to tell you. That's like long gone. Like no one's really doing that anymore. I should say very few, right? And this is a kind
well,
of a
the
case in point, right? Like it's just in your face. You're just privileged, and the world caters to you because you're white and you're male,
well, the thing
and
is they know they can't
you know,
show and don't tell because they know that people will be able to tell easier that it's they can't because
yeah,
they can't. It doesn't reflect reality.
right. That's true.
So
But that's the whole point, though, right? Okay, but this isn't reality. This is a comic book, and you can't even do it in a comic book. Like
right,
you can't
but
even pretend in a comic book and pretend that white privilege is a thing and that it's
sure,
terrible
but
and then
it's
demonstrate
more.
why it's terrible.
Well, no, because
You know,
all of the most celebrated stories or the best stories, stories in general, they're rooted in some kind of they're grounded in some way. Even the most
yeah,
ridiculous story is grounded in some form of
Yeah, I
some
agree with that. Yeah,
universal truth that we could all agree with. I always
right,
bring
right.
up um, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Still one of my favorite movies ever. Um, you know, it's about giant mutant turtles. It's in
Giant
the name,
talking
right? Raised
ninja
by a rat,
trained turtles. Yeah,
or an entertained rat from Japan, right? But it's so grounded in the sense that like it's it's grounded like the whole theme of the movie is what it means to be a family, right? You've got Shredder's family versus Shredder's family, which is not really a family, right?
yeah,
You've got what's his name? Danny and his dad. You've got April O'Neil taking care of his deceased parents' thrift store on the side. It's this whole all of the scenes connect to this one universal idea of the value of family.
yeah,
Right? Splinters, all fathers love their sons. You know,
yeah,
stuff like that. And it's great. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when April O'Neil is like she's explaining that she's taking care of uh the store, even though it's not open because it belonged to his dad. And she goes, "That sounds crazy, doesn't it?" And Leonardo goes, "No, it doesn't." Because he understands. He
yeah, yeah,
understands,
yeah,
despite being a mutant teenage mutant ninja turtle, he understands where Abel's coming from because he is a father. So it's such great. It's the movie is such a great story, and with those little moments, they didn't have to like. There's nobody's outside of Master Splinter, but he's like the sensei, so that's his job is to
well, yeah,
explain stuff.
yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
but the nobody has to go Vin Diesel on you and be like it's about family. They just have to
Yeah,
have these
they
very
don't have to hit
human,
the nail on the head, right?
yeah,
Yeah, and that's what, like,
So
cause that's the thing. I'm not even criticizing the idea of white privilege itself, right? It's like fine, you want to make an argument, and in certain contexts, you can make that argument, right? That when it comes to like stereotypes and perceptions and the way people treat, especially when you look at law enforcement, profiling and things. It's like sure, you can make an argument that certain perceptions favor some people versus others, right? But that's not even the point, right? It's like this is just bad writing. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that's the issue. The issue is not just the subject matter, right? The subject matter is still kind of an eye roll, like, here we go, right?
Oh,
But
I
it's
know,
still
but the
like,
thing is
okay,
that
fine, but it's like say it without saying it, right?
oh, I agree.
Show
My point
us,
is that
give
the
us a
Ninja Turtles
story,
movie,
weave it.
yeah,
I know, and that's what I mean. That's a great example. That's the point I'm making. It's like it's not even about whether you agree with the politics or not, right? Like a lot of people get on the notion of it's about stop putting your politics. It's like okay, I mean that's nothing new though, right? Politics, what's new is that it's blatant, right? It's you're not even trying to be subtle anymore. You're not even putting the story first to entertain us, then pull us in and then give us this message somewhere along the way, right? It's not
right.
even that. You're literally propagandizing, the content, and to a point that it's just blatant. It's not even like subtle, and it's somewhat insulting, right, to your audience because your audience is going, yeah, okay, like, can I get a story though? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not here to debate your politics, right? I'm not here for you to proselytize. I'm here to be entertained, right? I'm here for you to make me laugh, make me cry, make whatever it is, right? Scare me, It's like just tell me a good story, give me a fun ride. It's like you don't want to go to an amusement park and before you get on the roller coaster, they're asking you, are you registered to vote? Which party affiliation are you?
right.
Did you know that this candidate was caught in this? It's like I don't care. I just want to ride the roller coaster. You know what I mean?
You
Like
must,
what is this? It's the same thing. The
yeah,
comic book, the
instead of
TV show, the movie, or the roller
instead of
coaster.
this
That's
tall, you got to be this.
yeah. Instead of this, you got to be this political affiliation to. It's like, come
Right
on,
is
man.
right.
Like, just take the
Here's the
money. It's
thing:
all good.
stories have always had a message attached to them. Even I mean, if you want to go back to
Yeah,
like
it's nothing new.
the
It's nothing new. I
Brothers
agree.
Grimm stories or whatever. But the thing is that they were all the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah,
Slow and steady wins the race. It can be as simple as that, but it's just there was an entertaining story attached to the message. The grasshopper and the ant, you know,
yeah,
working out so you could play
yeah.
later.
Exactly.
You
Right.
know, so
It's but it's not in your face. Like, hey, don't be a lazy sloth. you know? It's like
yeah,
no, like you get this whole story, and then your brain's connecting the dots. You're like, ah, right.
right.
Like, that's what we want, right? We don't even if we disagree with it. That's what I'm saying. Even if I disagree, at least give me a story
Yeah, there's a lot
that's
of
entertaining so that I can go at the end and go, oh, that's nonsense. That's BS. But it was a good story. you know what I mean? Like I was still
yeah.
entertained, right? That's
Hmm.
all. That's all I'm saying, and I think that's what most people want. I don't think most people are upset that you have a black female lead or a gay character. Like most people aren't stressing about it. It's like, but give me a story. You know, entertain me, right? Don't just inject these things to check a box. But then it's like, oh, I forgot to check the story box.
Yeah.
Good story not checked, right? that's what That's the issue I have it is, and I think that's reflected in most people. And we're seeing it because I think a lot of audiences, they talk about superhero fatigue, but I don't think that's even a
There's
thing.
no such thing as superhero
There are
fatigue.
people who
You know
just
what? You
don't
know
like
what the
superheroes, and there's people who are tired of it, but they're not the majority, right? I think what people are tired
you know what's
of
a
is
genre?
poor
Hmm.
storytelling. Like
Yeah,
that's what
you
they're
know what's a
tired of.
genre of movies that have lasted longer, that is older than superhero movies? Cowboy movies. If you want to get specific,
Yeah,
Western movies.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
people are still making
they still
Western
make
movies.
westerns, right?
In the
That's right.
year 2024, we just
Yeah,
got the one. What was the one with Jamie Foxx and uh some other people? I forgot um
is that the
the
one
name, but
that
they
came
were.
out on Netflix? Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't been following a lot. I like westerns, but I haven't gotten into westerns really
Yeah.
in years. So
But
it'd be
I
nice to
love
see a
I
resurgence
love
of that. Like a renaissance of westerns. Really good westerns being
right, but
not
they still
remakes,
make
just new stories. New
I know, but
adventures.
they still make new
They do.
Western
You're right. They
stories,
still
right? I
make
mean,
westerns. Yeah.
we had Django, we had Hateful Eight, we had the
Yeah, I saw it.
Magnificent Seven,
Yeah,
we had
yeah, but that was a remake too. Magnificent Seven. Although it was good, I still enjoy it. So, but I want to see some
but
new cowboy movies, like just
let me I'm trying to remember what it's called, but basically what I'm saying is that westerns have been around much longer than superhero movies, and
yeah,
no one
yeah.
has Western fatigue.
There's no cowboy fatigue.
There's no cowboy fatigue.
Like, oh,
You
I'm
know,
tired of these cowboys, man. Like nobody's.
even like Toy Story. Woody's around. You know, no such thing. So it's just an excuse for their poor writing. That's all it really is.
Yeah,
Is people are when they because it's just a matter of the quality isn't as good as it used to be.
yeah.
And yeah,
That's
when the
exactly right.
quality is not as good, you're gonna get fatigue.
Exactly right.
So
Exactly. It's the
it's not
fatigue.
if it
The
wasn't
fatigue is
good,
not. It's not the genre, right?
yeah.
The fatigue is the garbage, you know, execution, right? It's like not another, what's being deemed woke, right? Not another woke movie or TV show where it's all about girl power or something, right?
I'm
And
sorry,
fighting patriarchy. People are
it
tired of
was
that.
Idris Elba. The harder they fall.
Oh, okay. You just
I don't know why I
okay.
said James Funny.
I
Idris
haven't, I
Elba
haven't heard
and
about that. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. They're all the cowboys are based off of all the characters are
Mm.
based off of real black cowboys
Yeah.
from
Yeah. Oh, cool.
like one of the dudes because I recognize the name not fuck one of the characters. Oh, I think is it Cherokee Bill? No, basically one of the characters in the story. He
Mm.
basically like invented rodeo,
Oh, really? That's
like
fascinating.
like cow wrangling, because he used
Yeah.
to like oh he was one of the pioneers of like cow wrangling and stuff
Oh, that's
like
kind
that.
of dope. I like that.
Yeah, he's cool. Bill Pickett, that's his
Oh,
name.
Bill
Bill
Pickett.
Pickett.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with that
yeah.
name.
Bill Pickett is awesome. Yeah, he's in the that's cool. I learned about him at the National Cowboy Museum in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Awesome.
He's awesome. Yeah, but yeah, so I think he's in that movie or TV
Yeah.
show,
See, we need. Yeah,
whatever
we
that
need
Netflix thing is.
more of that kind of. That's what I'm
Oh, that's
saying.
cool because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, cool. It's based off a real dude.
And no one's
You know,
going not another western. Like they're just like, oh, okay, here's another
no
western.
one
Let's
is
check it
doing
out.
that
Yeah. Same thing with
because
spy
westerns are
movies. Same thing
cool.
with action movies, buddy cop movies. You know, there's
Yeah.
no like, you know, there's only superhero fatigue for some reason. You know, and I think that's been put out by these production companies like Disney and Sony, etc., as a
Mhm.
way to explain their dropping profits. I think that's why it's put out there through, you know, by way of the media, of course.
That's the only reason that
Because
makes sense.
yeah, because it's like no, there's no superhero. Yeah, sure. Some people are like, I'm tired of. They're tired of Marvel, right? And they're tired of DC, right? Because it's the same old, and it's not getting
Hmm.
better. It's not. They're not telling better stories. If they were telling better stories that were compelling and more interesting, no one would be fatigued. Very few people, right?
Hmm.
There's always going to be a few people who are like, I don't care about this stuff because they just never cared about it anyway, right? But those that
Right.
are getting, you know, frustrated, it's like the frustration is not with the idea of a superhero. It's like, well, look, you just did like 10 or 20 years of big
Hmm.
budget, you know, tempo movies, like almost every year, every other year, right? But you haven't really done anything else, and the media focused just on that for the majority of the time. But there's been some smaller stuff that came out that was decent or that was
Invincible.
interesting, you know, and well, not just I'm just mean not even superhero related. And I think
Oh, I know. I'm just saying it's
that's
like
where people are like, okay, yeah, the landscape is crowded with superheroes because the media has been focusing on because these big companies like Disney keep
yeah.
continue to, you know, they kind of control that, right? They have the pull and the money to say, look, talk about this more, talk about that, talk about,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
and that's what's been happening. Warner Brothers, etc., and because they're trying to push, you know, their investment, right? And it obviously hasn't worked very very well because, like I said,
No.
they're bleeding money, right? And they're in you know, almost complete chaos. Warner Brothers, you know, they're talking about selling off. Like it's crazy, you know, and it's like
Hmm.
and it's but it's because they're not managing these properties well, and they're creating this artificial hype, right? Hoping that people, it's like they're what is it called? They're wagging the dog, right? To tell, it's like they're trying to get people to jump in on this and get excited, but it's
No.
there's no authenticity, there's no quality there to be excited about. You know, it's like, and just because you get a bunch of pundits, right, and you know, to say it's great, you hire some YouTubers or some, you know, some bot accounts on Twitter to say, hey, this movie is really good. It's like no one's buying it, right? They're going, no, it's not good. It's objectively bad, right? You know, like it's unavoidable, you know, and thankfully more and more people just aren't going for it. They're just like, no, it wasn't that good. You know, it's, you know, and then unfortunately when there are things that are okay, you know, that are meh, they don't get a lot of justice because you just, you know, you just kind of dismiss it all. Like a lot of people just go, I don't even want to watch that, even though it's probably at least decent, right? I
Yeah.
didn't want to give that a shot, you know, and it's unfortunate. It used to be the opposite, right? It's like it was a breath of fresh air to get something decent. You know, like Reacher is a good example. The recent remake on Amazon, right? They have a whole new series,
Hmm.
and it's pretty decent. It is good. It's not great. It's not perfect. It's not even necessarily excellent, but it is solid, right? But because of that, it's become very popular. A lot of people are praising it. You know, why? Well, because relative to the rest of what's out there, the scarcity of shows like that, for one, but two, the quality compared to other shows and movies, excuse me, They're like, hey, this is I like to call it this is Kool Aid in the desert. It's like when you're in the desert and you're thirsty
Okay.
and you need something cool and fresh to drink. It's a bad idea to drink something other than water, right? But
Hmm.
if all you have is Kool Aid, even though it's ill advised, right? You're going to drink it. Why? Because you're thirsty. And that's kind of how it is out there with entertainment. Like people are thirsty for good things, for good content, and anything that's mildly better, right? It's like, oh, I'll take it, I'll take it, And I think, and I'm not trying to knock the show Reacher. It is a good show. I enjoyed it. I liked it too, but
I
I'm
saw a couple
I'm
of episodes
actually
of it.
aware
It's
that
not
it's
too
not
bad.
as great as it could be probably. What
Hmm.
were you saying?
I've seen a couple of episodes of it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty good. It's decent. It's
So the moral
it.
of the story is superhero fatigue doesn't exist, especially
No,
when
it
shows like
doesn't.
Invincible exist, especially when My Hero Academia
Yeah,
exists,
exactly, and that's the other
especially
side of the
when
coin, right? It's like you can't say that, but then My Hero is wildly popular, not only
yeah,
in the East but in the West, right?
yeah.
It's like you can't do
Like
that.
the first time I went back to the theaters to see a superhero movie after when did the first My Hero movie come out? Um, when did Endgame come out?
2019, 2018, I think, something like that.
2018,
I think it was the beginning of
and then
2018 or 2019. Probably
20,
2019.
okay, so yeah, My Hero Academia, the first movie came out the same year then, and I didn't watch, I wasn't watching any superhero stuff at that point, but I went to go see My Hero Academia in theaters because
It was worth it, right?
I
Yeah,
loved it. Yeah, it was great.
it was good.
That
Yeah,
was
I
it
mean,
was
yeah,
awesome,
I agree.
and
That's
like
actually
so many
it's
stuff.
funny because that's when I discovered it too. Was that same
Oh, the
year after
movie.
Endgame? No, just My Hero in general. Like, oh, there's this
Oh,
anime
after. Oh,
called
that's
My
funny.
Hero. Oh, okay, let me check it out, right? And
Mhm.
man, yeah, I was like, okay, this is good.
Yeah,
This is solid, man.
great
So
show. A
you know,
fantastic movie. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but
which one?
the My Hero Academia movie.
I've seen at least two of them. So, but I couldn't tell you like.
Oh, well, there's only two movies, so
Oh,
I'm
there is.
guessing.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought there was like three or four. I thought there was
No, I
more
think
than
there's only
that.
two.
Okay, so I have
So,
seen them then. So,
all right, cool,
and they
cool.
they
Yeah,
are
first
good. I
movie is
mean,
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't see it in
I didn't,
theaters though. I saw it on
I did not
streaming.
see the second. No, I saw the first movie in theaters, and it was totally worth it
Yeah,
because
and then there's
there's a scene in that
Dragon
movie.
Ball, right? Brawly, right?
Which one?
Brawly, right?
Oh,
The,
the Broly. Well, I
yeah,
mean, I guess that's
It
not
came
really
out
a.
in theaters, and
Yeah, I don't really associate Dragon Ball with
Dragon Ball
superheroes. I
is
mean,
the epitome of superheroes. It's like it takes the
it,
superhero idea and like runs with it and goes wild, and which is fine. It's awesome.
I mean that's not wrong.
So yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying like people aren't tired of that either. Like it did wild,
True.
incredibly well in theaters, and I
Yeah.
think didn't they come out with another Dragon Ball movie like
Yeah, there's
a
too
couple
many
years
Dragon
ago?
Ball movies.
Yeah, but I'm just
There's
saying
like
after
50 of
Broly,
them.
I think they had another one, right? Didn't they do another one? I'm just not
There's
a
like
big
yeah,
Dragon
there's
Ball
like
person,
three other.
so I don't know.
No,
Like,
it's okay.
but I know, like, yeah, that's wildly. I mean, it's making me want to get into it, just seeing how popular it is, and a lot of people love it. It's just hard to know where to jump in, but I'm down
Well,
for it because I'm like, hey,
like I said, just start with classic Dragon Ball.
yeah, that's fine. But you understand, it's like there's no fatigue, right?
No,
It doesn't
no, no,
exist.
no, no. It doesn't
People
exist.
just want something that gets them excited and makes them want to be a part of it and to watch it and enjoy it, and
Yeah.
that's all it is. It's not about some type of fatigue. Like it's kind of it's
Hmm.
ridiculous, and just hearing that term, it's like some made up nonsense from the media, right? It's like no
Yeah.
one's gonna come up with that. Say, oh, I'm so fatigued with superheroes. Like, get out of here.
Hmm.
Nobody's fatigued. So I think keep going with it. I want to see more stories, more hero stories, but I just want them to be good. That's all. Just be good, be great. Tell us
Hmm.
something that gets us excited, that inspires us, and you know, makes us want to be a part of it, right? That's
Yeah.
what it's all about. That's what it's always been about. Yeah, stories inform, um, stories inspire, they encourage, you know, and sometimes they're just there to just entertain us. Just they're just something to do, you know, like a good horror movie or something, right? And that's all we're asking for. So, but yeah, getting back to that tweet, I saw that and I just thought, okay, this is ridiculous. Like this, I hope
No, it
I
is.
kind of hope it
Um,
wasn't real, but I think it is real.
no, it's real because it's not the first time I've seen something like that in
Yeah,
a
that's true.
Marvel
It's
comic.
not my first. I have seen one a while ago that was a troll. So
They did the same thing with the Thing. They did something similar with I mean, in apparently in the uh, Suicide Squad video game, they do it to Batman.
yeah,
So it's not you're not it's not just you. It's
yeah,
not just
yeah.
you.
You're right. But
So unfortunately, it's kind of the norm right now. Like I said, the people working on these properties don't actually like superheroes. Like I
I
remember
agree with you. I don't
when
believe
I
they do
found
either.
out about the when I found out about the Suicide Squad game. It's literally called Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. I'm thinking to myself, but why would I want to kill the Justice League?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a
Well,
pretty
but
simple
I
question.
thought I thought it was yeah. I've been seeing comments about it, and my impression was that it was about it was, I guess, a continuation of the
No, it's not a continuation of the
injustice.
Injustice. No,
So it's okay. So they're not evil Justice League.
I mean, I it's set in the Arkham universe apparently,
Well, yeah, I
but
found that out. But I'm just saying, but still, is it evil Justice League or is it just the Suicide Squad? Is they're free from Amanda Waller's control, or
no,
it's the
apparently the
government
story.
versus the heroes, and the government's trying to clamp
No,
down. Like,
apparently,
is that?
I mean, I guess the technically it is. I guess, but it's Brainiac, and he's brainwashed the entire Justice League apparently.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay, okay. So it's not necessarily injustice. It's
No,
that's even worse than if they're
Injustice.
if they're literally killing the Justice League. That makes it even worse because they're
Right,
not evil; they're just being mind controlled, which means they're victims. Which means
right.
you should
So
be
it's like,
trying to save them from the mind control, not murder them.
yeah. It's also like
That's
if
wow.
they kill
I
them.
didn't know that. That's awful.
Yeah, I know. It's
Even for
so
the Suicide
dumb.
Squad, that's terrible. Like,
Yeah,
there's nothing
because it's like,
redeeming about that. Like, because I've seen
no,
clips and everything. Like, they put a bullet through Batman's head and all this kind of stuff. It's like,
yeah, yeah.
oh my god, I didn't
It's
know
like,
that. Wow.
why not just kill Brainiac and save the Justice League?
Right, right. Wouldn't the mission be
Wouldn't
okay?
that
We
be
need
the
to
goal?
get to his whatever base of operations, infiltrate, and put in this virus and take him down or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
What? So they just go and they just kill the. Oh wow, that's crazy, bro. I didn't know that.
yeah,
I really. That's very
yeah. It's
disappointing.
dumb.
I thought it was like, well, they're just evil, so there's no other choice, right? You have to just fight them and take them out because they've gone, like Injustice, right? Where you, because even at the end of the first Injustice, right? They brought in the good Superman to take down the bad Superman, and they imprisoned him, right? So they didn't even murder him; they just put him in prison. Like they had the red solar. So they at
Hmm.
least didn't murder him, but it was like, yeah, we have to take this guy down. So they took him down. But oh my god, that's nuts. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Are you sure that's the plot? That they're mind controlled?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. look it up
That's
on the.
incredibly disappointing. Wow.
I know.
I didn't know it was
It's
that bad. I thought it was something completely different. I thought it was just like they're just evil. Like you know what I mean? Like just they just went off the deep end. They're just like, oh, forget it. We're the Justice Lords now, right? Like in the animated series, right? They're just tyrannical, dystopian, but it's not even that. Wow, that's crazy, man. What are these guys thinking?
they
who's writing
thinking
this stuff?
we want to kill the Justice
They
League. That's
really
it.
yeah they really hate
They just don't
superheroes.
like superheroes. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
you're
all it
right.
really boils down to.
Yeah,
And it's
I'm
so
convinced. I
annoying.
mean, I've been saying that for years, but man, like to go that far, wow.
No.
Not even
Well,
try to save them. Just we're just gonna kill them. You're mind
no.
controlled. We're just gonna kill you. We're not gonna try and reverse it. We're not gonna try. We're just gonna murder you.
No.
That's amazing.
It's funny. I could like. Oh, I keep bringing up Dragon Ball. Or Dragon Ball keeps coming up. So it's like even Dragon Ball, um, like Goku doesn't just outright kill his enemies all the time, right? The
Right.
fight with Frieza, like he gets bored and he's like, okay, you're clearly not as strong as I am. I'm gonna let you go if you promise not to enslave. Keep in mind, Frieza's already killed dozens of planets and enslaved a bunch of people. You're like, listen, I'm gonna let you live as long as
Right.
you don't hurt anybody else. And Frieza's like, yeah, sure, just don't kill me. And he flies away.
Yeah.
And Frieza, because he's a prideful, he does one last sneak attack on Goku, and then
Of
Goku just
course.
incinerates
Right.
him. If you look at the manga panel, Goku looks genuinely disappointed. Like, I
Right.
tried this,
Like
man.
I gave you a chance. Right?
Like, yeah, like even Goku gives people second chances.
That's crazy.
Even in the was it Dragon Ball in the it was this was like in the finale of Dragon Ball original Dragon Ball Z when they fight when they finally kill Kid Buu or whatever.
Yeah.
He makes a wish on the dragon, and he's like, let him be reborn as a good person, right? And he is reborn as a good person, and Goku trains him, and that's how Dragon Ball Z ends. Is he goes and trains. So it's like Goku, because people are always like, "Oh, Goku's dumb," you know. But it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's like
He's
he's
right.
he's a hero.
Yeah. He just believes in what is true. What's right. Yeah. And
But and
he takes. It's like he lives out what he believes. Right. He follows
yeah,
it with
well, he
action.
well
Yeah.
his whole thing is like people are better than they think they are. I think it's funny.
Yeah. That's a good. He has faith in that there's good in others. Yeah. And gives them a
Yeah,
shot to
and
be
it's
good.
like
Yeah. That's a good point.
and it's like how does Dragon Ball? Because a lot of people like make fun of Dragon Ball, but it's like how does Dragon Ball get that, but not, you know what I mean? Not
Because
not modern.
yeah, like I said, they've abandoned good storytelling. Like simple as
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
So look,
it's
the chat is back finally.
oh yeah.
You know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. One of these days we'll
Yeah,
figure out how to do
YouTube.
proper live streams.
Well, part of it's YouTube, and
Yeah, I think
and
all of
like
it's YouTube. To be perfectly honest, I really do. I don't.
yeah,
YouTube is just not. I don't know because I've gone through all these settings. I've done this stuff, but then like
hmm
it decides to turn on. You know what I mean? Like I didn't turn this
no,
on.
I get it.
Like, so I don't know. It's weird, but
Don't,
it's
don't worry. I think most people would agree with you that it's just it's
yeah. We'll get it right, folks. But for those who are watching, thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing your Saturday morning with us. It's going on 11:30. It's 11:28. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And remember to check out supergalacticfantasticdimension.com. Not .com. Supergalacticfantastic.com. And check out all our characters and get a sense of the story. It's all there for you, and hopefully you'll join us in this adventure and you know, ascend into the heavens, right? With our characters and follow us along and support our campaign when it launches. So, thanks for joining us once again. Have a happy Saturday. Thanks for being here, Jerry Jr.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time and make it a wonderful day.